All right, it's the rundown. It is Thursday, it's, November 8th. It is presented by Oakheart. Again, Oaks and Ginger. Drink them up. Drink them up. Drink them up. Also brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the code RUNDOWN. Get 10% off your first ticket order. It's instant. You don't have to wait for the checks. They do it either PayPal or directly off the it's directly off the order now. So use SeatGeek, code RUNDOWN. $10 off your first ticket order. Got to talk about the Easter egg blue mamba all the way to the shoes.
The robin egg.
It's a preposterous look that I do not care for unless it's Easter.
You're a hype beast.
It's blue on blue on blue, baby.
It's light blue, it's pastel, it's Easter egg, and the shoes, I mean the socks are like not even the right color. It's just like
it matches the shirt.
Interesting.
You need like a blue hat.
Blue hat to top it all off?
Yeah, you should have worn blue shoes.
I mean, I'll go head to toe blue to the day I die.
I'd like this as a new KFC brand, just going color coordinated top
Easter
to
egg.
bottom.
I mean,
every
here's the
single day.
thing. The pants in the shirt. The pants in the shirt were, yes, exactly.
You need a blue highlighter.
So I open up the drawer. There's the blue socks right there. Why would I not? When you have the same blue in the shirt, why would you not?
I don't know. It took
color coordinated head to toe.
I was just looking at Young Page's Twitter, and it literally took my breath away when I was walking in. We were talking about Felger, which is our first subject.
Every single person in this office, especially the second floor. The second floor, where they were like passing out when I walked around.
That's not what's happening.
I swear, Alita, can you vouch for me? They was like, the crowd was like, it passed through
Oh my God,
the
like in a good way, or like what's going on up there?
Vouched, we said he looked great. He does.
He definitely don't look great. He looks like kind of a clown. I'm not even like saying that to be mean.
I think there might be a little jealousy coming
No,
from you, Dave.
I could go. You think I can't go pastels if I wanted? I could go pastels. Look at me. I'm dark.
It's
this happens literally anytime somebody wears anything that looks good. Dave lashes out. You do.
This does not look good.
You comment anytime there's a look that people are
Nobody
talking
thinks
about.
that. Dan, you think this looks good?
It's growing on me now that the socks are out and popping.
This does not look good.
Yeah, you need to like George H.W. how he gets the socks and he's in the wheelchair, so they're always popping. You need to just go in a wheelchair.
You know who you look like? You look like sales guy when he's like has to dress in costume for like going to Nantucket, and he's the only one who overdoes it, but he doesn't know he overdid it. That's what you look like.
There is nothing better than
nothing more than a pair of pants and a shirt that match, and I just threw the socks up.
There is nothing better
You
than
just can't get over the
Gaz.
socks.
Than Gaz picking up like Lewis and Feidelberg style like 2 years later. Dave does it too.
This is the king of that.
You do that too.
You have done that.
Yeah.
Feidelberg's entire
First of
career.
all,
If Lewis is wearing something today, you're gonna wear it next year.
I don't dress anything remotely similar to
Not
what
yet.
those two dress.
Yeah, not yet.
Every single
Next
time
year.
you've made fun of Feidelberg, like 2 years later, you wore the
That's
exact same thing.
absolutely not true.
I mean, that is just like a documented fact at Barstool.
If you
It's like a running joke.
If you with who?
Everyone.
Like everybody.
I'm not in on that joke.
Yeah, because you're the fucking butt of the joke.
No, because
you're not in
that's
on
not
it because
true.
we're making fun of you.
I have a very clear delineation of when my style changes. When I went to Italy and I came back and I wore everything 5 sizes tighter. That is, it has nothing to do with
put that
Feidelberg.
picture in. Remember that when we were in LA in that you were fat and you had your Italian shirt.
It was not
and
a
the
sitting
buttons
shirt.
were
it wasn't a sitting shirt.
I've never
standing
seen
shirt. It was
buttons
not-
scream to get out farther.
Like you could see like the whole stomach.
That may have been
That
actually
was-
my diet. People are like how you lose weight. I just wore such tight clothes, like
had
squeezed.
to.
Yeah, it squeezed my like fat out.
Tailoredclothing.com
But it has nothing to do with
/KFC.
Feidelberg. Feidelberg wears like ripped sweaters.
Right, you will next year.
No, I will not. I will never do that.
You said that every single time his style has changed. Every
style
single
hasn't
time a
changed.
trend has come up, you say you don't like
You
it.
did the
and
cuff
you dress that way.
jeans. You
Yeah,
did the cuff jeans.
The
I've
pants,
never
coat.
cuffed my
your
jeans.
pants
You
have.
used to cuff your jeans.
I've never cuffed my jeans.
You're saying I can't find a picture of you with cuff jeans?
Cuff jeans, yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't cuff my jeans. So
I feel like you did for a little bit there.
No.
What about the trench coat? I feel like they were bringing back trench coats, like, and you
You
started
think
wearing.
the coat that I have is like their coat?
No, you had a coat that was similar.
No, I did not.
Fights, what's the style Portnoy jacks from you? He's just
He's jamming out to some music.
What's the style that Portnoy like jacks from you 2 years late? Like what are the clothing? Is it the pants?
Oh, I don't know. I'm being brought into this late. What are we talking about?
They're saying I dress like you.
You know,
which I
like he would
don't.
make fun of you, and like 2 years later, you'd be like wearing the same thing. What was the clothing? Was it the pants?
Well, I mean, dude, we had distressed jeans. We did leather jacket. We did.
I don't wear leather. Oh, I have that
brown
like,
leather jacket. I've
had that for like a decade.
It was years ago. This happened years ago.
What about
There
cuffed
was- there
jeans?
was
Has Dave
the,
ever
uh,
cuffed his
Never
jeans?
cuff my jeans.
You cuff your jeans all the time. Are you kidding me?
I never cuff my jeans. I never cuff my jeans.
You sit down in front of a camera every day. We can get the footage of you
Yeah,
having cuffed jeans.
I encourage that. I welcome that.
There was the what was the camel coat, the camel hair coat?
The coat was a big one.
My coat that I have looks nothing like any of your
Yo,
coats.
you are acting as if like you didn't change your whole style from a total schlub.
You did.
That where you used to make fun of Lady Madam Feidelberg, and then you're wearing
is
Madam,
Lady Feidelberg.
Yeah, and then you started wearing clothes like that. You went from a fucking
Kevin, you're
bum
not listening to
to
anything I'm saying.
dressing nice.
Bum, Italy, great. It had nothing to do with this.
The only person who hasn't changed their style is me. I'm wearing a $10 shirt from American Eagle, and people are like, "Whoa, you look good today." It's like, this is the nicest shirt I own, I guess.
American Eagle.
Yeah. I also have had diarrhea for 5 days straight. So
Yeah,
I
I
lost a
fucking
few
know that.
pounds. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fel-
A few lbs.
Felger versus Halladay. So Felger yesterday went on 98.5 Sports Hub, and I like Felger. He's a friend of the program. He defended me with the Brady dick pics. He was the only one who's like, it's a joke. People are taking it too seriously. In this, he basically yesterday said Roy Halladay like deserved to die. He's like, oh, you know, do whoop-de-whoops and blue, and you have kids. I find it offensive to me. Splat, good. He deserves it. Blah blah blah.
I got off
Oh,
that
God.
thing. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do
if,
that.
If I die helicopter skiing, you have the right out there to do the exact same thing I'm doing to Roy Halladay. He got what he deserved.
Internet went crazy. Today, we talked about earlier, Jared and I said he would go on the air and he would apologize. Carabas is like, no chance. He's not going to apologize. He won't say the word sorry. He won't apologize.
In a nutshell, I would say that I feel bad about what happened on a lot of levels. I feel bad about what I said and how I conducted myself. I feel bad about that. To say it was over the top or insensitive is really stating the obvious. It's really not saying much to saying it was insensitive or over the top. It was obviously those things. I could come in and say, I apologize if I offended anyone, but that's fake and hollow, and everyone hates that, don't you? Isn't that the worst when someone comes in and says that? Besides, the only folks that I would really want to extend that to are the loved ones of Halladay.
He has spent all show apologizing, saying he was totally wrong. So we'll start this with Jared. Son, would you like to apologize to me?
No, I will not apologize. I will admit that I was wrong, though. That's just something that I never do. So, but I'm not going to apologize to you because you owe me an apology first.
Ooh.
For the Twins take that I had at the beginning of the postseason. You did the exact same thing.
You did the exact same
Thank
thing.
you, Kevin.
When?
What?
When you bet on the Timberwolves last night.
These two idiots don't know anything about. I don't know how this is like a buzzword is false equivalency. I have no idea how me listening to Big Cat on the T-Wolves has anything.
Hand up, I was
you
wrong.
Sat here,
You are
sat
wrong,
here.
and I
Okay, I know I was
No,
wrong. I
but-
bet too. I
no.
lost. I
Yeah,
would
but
never
I was
tell
out,
you
Dan.
something.
Dan.
But I would never tell you to bet on something that I wouldn't bet on myself.
It was such an obscure game to be like you were so in on it. It's like take the
loved
T-Wolves.
it.
Dave
And I
sat
missed
here
all
and
my
said,
games.
I will
went
never
2-1.
place a bet on a game that I know is not going to hit. And then he was on the radio and was like, I knew I was going to lose that game, and I bet it anyway. Because you bet it because of the
That's
value
totally-
and because
no,
of an
but Dan
idiot
believed
piece of
in it.
advice.
I did believe in
and
it.
that's exactly
Dan
what,
wasn't
what
like
Jared
take,
was talking
Dan
about.
wasn't
I
like
believed in
take the
it. I
T-Wolves
believed
to
in
the
it.
Warriors
They were
in a
down
win.
1 at half, +9.
Same thing.
Felt
You should apologize
good.
to
Well, I
Jared.
don't know.
Third quarter got away
Just
from
say
us.
sorry.
What can you do?
Just say sorry.
You're making those.
Just be a man and apologize,
Wait.
Dave. Just be a man.
I'm willing to apologize.
What are you talking about?
Just don't be a
He's
hypocrite.
so off the rails already.
But what are you talking about?
And also,
Wait, time
go to
out, time
SeatGeek.
out. What are
We
you
also
talking
have to
about?
go to SeatGeek. Because that's what the rundown's brought to you by.
Right.
I already did that.
No, we just did Oakart, and we talked about my clothes.
No,
True,
I
fact.
1,000% did SeatGeek.
We've had this discussion before. I can't remember if you did or not.
1,000% I did SeatGeek.
I think you might have.
1,000% I did SeatGeek.
I think you might have.
1,000%
This time
I
I'm
did
on your
SeatGeek.
side.
1,000%.
I had this problem
Okay.
last time. Yeah.
DraftKings is too. We'll get you. You want
coming
to do
up.
DraftKings?
You
We
do
have a $3
DraftKings.
qualifier this Sunday for the Barstool Common Man Championship.
You got the receipts.
I think that's those pants.
What a fucking asshole.
Those are tough.
Look at his face.
It took 2 seconds, too. He was
Oh,
there
fuck
30 seconds.
yes.
I don't know why I was doing it. Maybe
Fuck
because Feidelberg
yes.
fucking dressed that way,
cuffed
and then it
your
became
jeans.
fashionable, and you jumped on the trend.
You're
It
Gene
must have
Cuffer.
been too long.
Oh my God.
Gene
you are-
Cuffer.
Is that
Apologize.
Is rolling?
Apologize.
Time out.
Time out.
Is rolling cuffing them?
Oh my God. What else?
No, cuffing's when you like peg them.
Well, that's a different thing. That's pegging.
I had two
I don't
long
know what any of
jeans,
this
I
is
rolled them
now.
up. Can I do a DraftKings
You cuff your
read,
jeans.
please?
You're Gene Cuffer.
Sure.
Just admit you're a Gene
I
Cuffer.
don't cuff jeans. We have a $3 qualifier this Sunday for the Barstool Common Man Championship. $20 live tournament in New York City with everyone from the office, flight included. Wow.
Holy shit.
Stoolies only. It's a no-brainer. Stoolies only. It's a no-brainer. We have a $3 qualifier, $3 this Sunday for the Barstool Common Man Championship. $20 live tournament in New York with everyone from the office. Flight included. Stoolies only. It's a no-brainer. DraftKings. Everyone in the office. I wonder when they're going to tell the people in the office about this.
Would be
News
nice to
to
know.
me.
Would be
Sounds
nice
like
to
we're doing it. I can't move on until you explain to me how the big cat bet is the same as the Twins. I won't interrupt.
Well, no,
you explain it.
You had said I would never bet on a game that I knew wasn't going to win, and then you said in there that you were like, I knew that they weren't going to win, but I bet it anyway because Dan said blah 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 blah.
But that. All right.
So
I didn't like the game. Dan liked it, so I went with his pick.
I loved it.
Yeah, and he was adamant
I
about it.
loved
I
it.
mean, you should have gone with your own fucking brain.
I admit that I
Like you
loved
said,
it.
you would never bet on a game that you thought.
No, but it
would
was a
hit,
hot
and it
tip.
didn't
But
hit.
it was hot.
Yeah.
I'll have days back. If you get a tip, you get a tip. And it was a tip.
And it has nothing to do with Caravis saying bet on the Twins, but he likes the Yankees.
No, it was more
The
you
only
saying
thing
you
I
never
don't
bet on a
like-
game that you didn't think was going to win. and
The
then
only
you
thing
did.
I don't like is you blaming me for getting you back in because you were going to be back in this weekend. There's such a loaded slate of college football games. You
I
were
don't
going
know,
to be
Dan.
back in.
I don't know.
If-
You
And
was
I got
gonna be
shut
back.
out. I got shut out.
You're going to watch Notre Dame Miami on Saturday night, not bet on it.
I went 2-1, by the
Yo.
way, in the games I didn't get in, and then just fucking.
If a T-Wolves tip from Dan got you back in, the college football
no,
slate was going to get you back in.
He was so adamant.
That's a good tip.
He was so adamant, and
I
it's such a
trust the tip.
weird
I
game.
would still take it 100 times out of 100. That's why I suck at gambling.
Jerry Jones, and I don't like you. You don't know the first thing about gambling at
True,
all.
yeah.
So it's like you're sitting there. Oh, when someone sits in the corner like, take the T-Wolves at Golden State, I'm like, that is such a bad pick, but he's so adamant. I almost thought he
loved it.
knew. I thought he had like
That's just
point
dumb.
shaving.
I thought
or
I
something.
did. I thought I did
It's
too.
like
And 8.5.
I
Durant's
thought
not
I did
playing.
too.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even know Durant was playing. That's how much I loved it. I didn't even do the research.
Which I actually think made it worse because then it's like
Probably.
they rise up for like it's like
Yeah.
oh we're fine with
In
that.
retrospect.
But I thought you knew that.
Just a
I thought Jimmy was gonna,
bad gambler.
Jimmy's one of those guys. He rises to the occasion against good teams.
Jerry Jones is threatening to sue the NFL. To me, I think someone came in and said it's a bad look for Bobby Kraft. I don't agree because I don't think there's any way Jerry Jones is going to sue the NFL. I think it's posturing. And I don't think anything's going to change. You hear this all the time. And it is a weird one. The thing that we keep saying is different. Like the Brady, I think there are people who didn't like Brady. They don't like the Patriots. So there's an agenda there. I don't know. Like, what does the NFL have to gain by going through all this over Zeke Elliott? That's the confusing thing to me.
The whole Ezekiel Elliott
such a
thing
mess.
makes no sense to me. I just know that at the end of the day, if Jerry Jones has you on the list, I don't think you can come back from it. Like Goodell's fucked, right?
I don't know. I don't like.
I don't think Jerry Jones will.
I think there's one guy. I know what you mean. Like Jerry Jones' list is not to be trifled with. If there's one like guy or entity above it, it's Goodell in the NFL. The Shield,
Right,
bro.
but
The
my
Shield.
point is, I don't think Jerry Jones will sue. But I don't think this is not something Jerry Jones has now gone public with this. His disdain for Roger Goodell. He can't now take it back and tuck
Kraft
his
kind of did.
Kraft kind of did, but I think Jerry Jones is a little different than Kraft in that respect. Like Kraft has a little bit more like, let's
Business.
look long picture.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones feels like a guy who's like, yeah.
The only thing I'll say with it, which we always take the individuals, these owners are competitive. And I think a lot of times behind they're like, yeah, fuck the Cowboys. Like the other owners. And that, I think, happened with the Patriots. So it's like, yeah, one guy's making all the commotion, but then behind the door, enough owners are clearly being like, yeah, stick it to him.
The key, as always, is basically if Jerry Jones can get the Maras and the Rooneys on his side.
Yeah.
I feel like they're the two families that, like, if you can
football
get
royalty.
them, everything flips.
Baseball trolls. So this is a wonderful story. Not wonderful, but wonderful in the sense of just exposing the hypocrisy, which is something I relish in. And this one was you, Dan. We didn't really go into the story in very much detail because, to your credit, you took the high road when you were throwing out the first pitch. And I don't know how many people even knew the first pitch. It was almost like the ESPN show. In Jeopardy.
No, the
Seventh inning stretch,
the
right?
seventh inning stretch.
Seventh
the first
inning
pitch
stretch.
I announced I was doing the day of, so wasn't able to
Seventh
get the
inning stretch,
Army
singing
against me.
the seventh inning stretch,
Right.
where it was on, off, people
On, off,
protesting.
right.
And I don't know if, like, it seems like a lot of the people that we really have problems with are originating from Chicago, which
It's the Chicago like baseball and Blackhawks like Twitter crew that just it's baseball Twitter in general.
But I mean, they've got to be the biggest losers in the world. The Chicago branch is like they're the center of all the problems.
Sicario, Spain.
So the issue in this one is like,
So
and
explain,
like you
yeah,
said,
explain.
yeah. So basically, there's a person who is catfishing for the last 8 years, starting as a 13-year-old girl, all the way up to being 21, pretending to be a married man online and a baseball writer. So it's fucked up. Like it's fucked up.
Crazy.
And like catfish like started personal relationships. Like I said in my blog, I feel awful for anyone who got catfished because that could happen to anyone, and that's a really shitty. Like if you think you have a friend and it's like, oh yeah, they've been just like abusing me and like emotionally like asking for nudes and stuff, and it's actually just some random chick. That's fucked up. What I don't understand is Baseball Prospectus hires this person and doesn't vet them at all. Like how do you pay them? And if they come out and they're like, yeah, the person like forged Social Security and like all these kind of things, I'd be like, you know what? That could also happen to anyone. But they basically just said, oh, well, we found out, so we fired the person. Like that's it. Yeah, that's all you're gonna say.
They must not have been paying them, correct?
I don't know.
Because how could you pay a man?
Right.
If it's a woman.
We were saying unless it's like a PayPal or a Venmo where it's like so off the books that it's like.
But
here's
it
your money.
didn't feel like
But if there's any sort of legitimacy, you would find out.
And it felt like the catfish was able to
Or
be
not
exposed relatively easily, and the fact that like, so yeah, of course, like people are now all the baseball nerds are like, I'm basically their Joker.
So
I am like they were fighting each other, and then I wrote a blog, and now they're all fighting me, so they're all back to being friends. But at the end of the day, like they're all like, oh, you're using a victim's story to settle like a vendetta. One, I didn't name any of the victims because they asked not to be named. And two, you're damn fucking right I'm showing that they're being hypocrites. When they blasted me and ran a hit piece on me for doing the seventh inning stretch, I am going to say, hey, you guys have fucking shit in your house too.
Everybody.
Like,
has
why
shit
wouldn't
now.
I do that?
We actually have like Sneaky, the cleanest house going.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is that you might not like our sense of humor. We might say some things that like upset you. We're not fucking total weirdos like this. We're normal ass people that maybe you don't like what we say, but we're not coming up with fake online personas for a decade, 8 years. That person that is a girl, that girl should be locked up. That's pre-crime. She's capable of anything. If you're gonna fake being a married man for 8 years to write about baseball while harassing other women, that's diabolical.
And by the way,
that's the meanest thing I've ever heard.
And while they're stupid and they didn't do somehow background check, I wouldn't make the jump that necessarily reflects on everybody else who works at that company. But that is the jump that everyone makes
Yes.
here.
And this whole like, oh, you're using it to settle a personal score. Well, like you fucking dragged me through the mud and said I was the worst person ever. I can't then like come back and be like, hey, you guys have shit too.
Yeah, that's what's
ridiculous.
crazy. Yeah.
I don't grudge the same way as you do, Dave. A lot of my
very few
grudges
do.
simmer,
Sam
and
Potter,
this one was like, yeah, I mean the Sam Potter one's perfect. Like I've been just like smashing retweet on that. The Sam Ponder show is like I've hit retweet like 4 times, and like I'll grudge a different way. But like you don't think that like when people drag me, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And like
right.
of course I'm gonna then say, and I was pretty fair. I was like, hey, these people, this sucks that this happened to these people. But the question that I'm asking is how did the fucking people hire them?
I know it sucks to get catfished, but like.
I think
There's something bad. I mean,
They were
calling them
asking
victims.
They
like
were
it's
asking
like a
for
fucking
nudes.
terrorist attack.
I think some of them might have sent nudes. I don't know.
I think I would say too, and this is just me being in a weird way. I feel like the older she got, the less dangerous it becomes. I feel like it's almost like your California teen. A 13-year-old like fake girl catfishing you seems diabolical. The older it almost seems like I'd rather like I don't like teenagers.
Yeah, right.
I don't like teenagers catfishing.
Right, because that's Teenagers
Like-
scare me.
Teenagers are the
Teenagers
most
scare me.
vindictive,
Teenagers-
Like
evil people
Jake
on the
Paul
planet.
probably
I'm
like
scared
has
of any teenager.
a wing of Team 10 that can catfish you in the second and have all your information.
Teenagers are scary. They are. They're just flat out scary.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. They just got all like the bravado.
They're walking down the street. I almost dove into a manhole sewer to get out. There was like 30 of them.
3 p.m. on the streets of New York City. I know you're afraid of California teens, and that's
They
understandable.
pop wheelies in the middle of the road.
3 p.m. New York, Manhattan. You walk in the streets when school gets out. Get indoors.
And
Get the
they
fuck
start
out of there.
and dude, they started vaping. They're vaping
Yeah,
now.
of course.
It's fucking
Of
scary.
course they are.
It's like they're just wild.
Like
walking.
blowing lines.
Yeah.
and
They
shit. They're
take
crazy.
over the main streets. They
Yeah.
drive their dirt bikes and
It's
like
just
pop wheelies
scary.
and like real cars are getting run into like storefronts.
But California teens still take. I mean, that whole Dodgers run was like just a horror film for me. Well, every time they shot to the crowd, like kids with like their shirt off at a baseball game,
Fucking, like, long surfer hair,
just
backwards
doing
hats,
this
yeah.
and like, oh fuck, man.
Big drug bust in Colombia. 12 tons, like a bazillion. It's the biggest one ever recorded. I just put this on there, and we probably said, all this fascinating. Like, I couldn't watch a movie on this drug bust and the Osinkolinko or whoever his name is, who's the head of the Gulf Coast Drug League. I can, like, get me.
It's like
Minor league drug.
No, it's Gulf Coast.
you
The
can't
Gulf Coast
trust
drug
any
league.
stats from the Gulf Coast
Yeah,
Drug
no,
League. It's
I'm
all
close actually on what the
pitchers
name
stink.
is. It's like the Gulf Coast Clan or something. I know it's Gulf something. Anyways, I love this shit. Like, there's nothing that fascinates me more than
If
this.
you could be one thing, I think I would want to be a drug kingpin.
Oh, that's the best.
Like,
You're
more
always
so
gonna
than
sleep
any-
with your eye
even
open,
if
but
you-
it's still
yeah,
awesome.
like if you could tell me you could be like a superstar athlete or like a successful and like you're not going to get caught, drug kingpin, I want to be the kingpin.
Well, that goes back to you. Would you be the drug king knowing you get executed at age 40, but from like 20 to 25 to 40, you run shit.
See, that I think is different. I think I'm willing to die at 40 because drug kingpin life is
The best.
I don't
the
know.
best. Like Roy Halladay had all the money and shit, but he wasn't living like Escobar. He
I
wasn't
feel like
living-
it would be so stressful.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
but
hot.
Every single day, you're like, anyone could just shoot you.
yeah, but if you're the
Yeah.
drug kingpin, you are like, oh, you're okay with that. You're just like, when my time comes, because you're already just living that life.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be for me. It'd be a lot of stress.
It is a lot.
I already have gray hairs.
You know,
I didn't sleep over that
Right.
Timberwolves
So I got
game last
stress
night.
already. I don't need more.
I was so mad at it. And I fell asleep. They were down 3, and then I turned back on, and they just were down 40.
I did the fall asleep, wake up, like follow the fourth quarter, like I said, being like, oh, they're only down 15. Maybe they could cut it.
Not good. And then the last one we announced, newest acquisition, Rough N Rowdy. Very excited for this. First fight, December 15th. I've only seen one thing. We announced it actually. We had a scheduled live press conference while we were taping. One person said I saw very anticlimactic. I actually don't think it is. We're now league owners here at Barstool. There's nothing I've ever seen like Rough N Rowdy. I think it's the perfect mix for our crowd and what the event is. And it's one of those things, bring it full circle like with the ESPN where, you know, the boobers can come out and public pressure and all that. You can't affect this. It's like we control the whole thing. I don't care if you hate it, then don't watch it. I think most people like it, but it doesn't matter what the critics say. So excited for that.
Are you technically the commissioner?
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's just call that.
Because like, yeah, I mean that's just
You're
an
the
honest
commissioner.
question. Are you
You're
the
the
commissioner
commissioner
of
of
this?
Sure.
Yes.
But that comes.
And-
like,
and-
what if someone dies?
Then you're not the commissioner.
I'll step down.
That's a rule. And that your performance at the last Rough N Rowdy was like your best performance.
Very
in a long
excited.
time. So people, the Stoolies get that regularly.
Yeah, and we're going to bring in
Tex
more
fight
people.
again? Is he allowed
He's,
to?
I
come
still have him
on.
under concussion
Yeah.
protocol.
No, because
18
Hank
months.
still wants to fight Tex.
18 months.
Well,
it
Tex
was.
I made,
Tex
but
is getting
he's
done.
under. I think a lot of the Heartland guys are.
Oh,
I
I
heard
can see that.
Chef is fighting. I heard Diggs is fighting.
Sean, I mean, he's a funny dude. Like that guy. If you have a wonky eye like that, there's nothing you can lose in a fight.
Right.
No.
You know, like
What's gonna-
what's
what-
gonna
what,
Maybe
you're
he'll
gonna be
straighten
more,
out.
more wonky.
Right.
He'll get hit straight out.
That's a guy who's got nothing to lose.
So Caleb and Roan are actually going to West Virginia next week to do like pre-fight interviews with the people, get a feel for it. So I'm very excited for that, and I think it's going to end up being a huge acquisition for us. And we're league owners now. That's what we are. We're league
You're a
owners.
commissioner.
Yeah, we're league owners. So that's exciting. You can sign up for any email updates you want at roughandrowdybrawl.com. We'll keep you updated. We're also, so we've done it in West Virginia, but we're getting licensed everywhere. So, I mean, hopefully we have like Massholes
shit
fighting,
in Vegas.
Guidos in New York fighting, like every state, the cliches, everywhere.
We should go to like there's that backyard wrestling in Jersey. That they have like a full league. Those guys would be willing to throw.
Well,
hands.
no, we need to start like getting like actual team rivalries in it, like
Bill
Mets
Smart.
and Yankees
Yeah,
fans fighting
yeah.
each other.
Yep.
Would be awesome.
Yep, a lot of that stuff. So that's exciting, very excited for that. That's been a long time in the works. Been because Chris, who owns it, started. He's going to still be running it, involved in it.
So he's the commissioner.
Yeah, he's probably commissioner. Yeah, he's the commissioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the commissioner.
Got it.
All right.
It would be cool to be the commissioner.
It would.
But heavy lays the.
Heavy is the head who wears the crown.
Yeah, Jerry Jones knowing that, or Roger Goodell's knowing that right now.
All right, rundown.